Hi, guys. All right, well, I will not be before you long. So let's get into it. All right, so I am here. I know it is Friday, it is earlier, and it's also quiet. So I was like, maybe I should start doing some of these lives just a little early because before the baby girl gets home. Y'all saw my last live was a little bit of a struggle, and lately my evenings have been, just a little packed, and that's all right. Sometimes you just gotta try a different path. You know what? I really didn't set this up this way because that is literally the topic I am bringing to you today. Being open to a new path. I really, you see how God, like for real, because I was literally just like, okay, I can go live in the evenings, which means it doesn't mean I'll never be live in the evenings, but Percia is just as she gets older, she's all into mommy, she's all into daddy. Let's be clear, but the moment mommy walks out the room, it's like you would have thought I just stole her cat and gave it away. So and then those evenings are also very important to me. It's just, our time. So I was like, well, maybe I can, go live sometimes before I pick her up. So here I am, and I'm super excited. I'm back. It's so exciting. I don't know wherever you guys are. I'm in Ohio, but that fall weather is kicking in, and it is kicking in. It's kicking in slowly, but I like it. I'm here for the slow transition of the seasons. All right, sometimes we need to, just say goodbye to the summer, reminisce a little bit more than say goodbye. Oh, you're back. Oh, all right, you're leaving. That's what it's giving. um but it's okay. I love it. But that brisk air in the morning, like, just I'm ready to order a tent and just sit in it on my front yard, and just enjoy that brisk with a little throw with some hot chocolate. Ugh, love the brisk air. It is something about the brisk air that is so refreshing. But anyways, let me get into it because I still am not going to be before you long. I am glad that you guys are here. For those of you that are able to tune in at this time, cool. If not, no worries. You already know I will be chopping this video up and posting the segments, and then the full video will be on my YouTube page. So make sure you guys subscribe on to the YouTube page where the link will be posted shortly. Okay? So, just like I said, I tried a different path, and I wanted to encourage you guys today. Like, man, we out here and we are just trying. Like, period. That's actually the end of my message. For real, right? Because we are just trying. We are trying at this thing called life. And sometimes that's all it feels like. You just be like, I tried. It's so funny because now that Percia's she is starting potty training. That is her go-to response. We're like, did you tinkle? Did you go to the potty? Did you make it? She goes, I tried. And I'm like, I understand, baby girl, because sometimes in life you're just like, I try, especially in these Christian streets. You try your best to maintain the faith, to uphold the character, to be the person God has called you to be. But, we're only human. So sometimes you're like, you know what, God, thank you for this day, but I tried. And thank you for your new mercies today. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be able to give ourselves more grace to just try. And be okay with the efforts, but don't settle there. Don't just settle with trying. If it's not working out, try something else. And that's what I want to encourage you today to hold. So I heard someone say, hold loosely to sometimes your ideas and your vision. Now there's a thin line. That does not mean give up your ideas or be, fickle with them, or, hold on to them with confidence, but also with humility. And that is very difficult to do because you don't want to lose vision in the ideas and the visions that you have for your life and the plans that you make, but you want to hold them loosely enough where there is room for change, because that is how we find ourselves disappointed and constantly in this place of heartbreak or discouragement, ultimately depression, anxiety, you name it. All right, because we're holding too close to certain things, and we have to be very, very careful not to do that. We have to be very, very, very careful to hold loosely to the things that we are thinking on, the things that we are dreaming on. All right. And so I just want to give you a couple of points before. So, we have these ideas and we want to be able to give those ideas room to change, because if we don't give them room to change, we find ourselves in a place where if it's not going our way, we are just living a life of constant disappointment, and we're constantly upset. We actually start to get upset at people that are part of that idea that it's just not going that way. And it's so unfair to do that. You have to be able to sit back and say, okay, this is just not working. I tried it this way. I waited. I thought, and this isn't it. And that's okay. So you have to give God room to show you how he wants to do it. And in order to do that, you have to be open that there might be a different path, and not just a different path, there might be a different outcome overall. And if we're not open to the fact that we make plans, but God has the final say, again, we will find ourselves beating ourselves up and constantly in a place of discouragement, disappointment, feeling like a failure, and kind of resenting the people around us that ain't helping us make it happen. And that's just not where God intended for us to be. He wants us to hold on to those ideas, but give it room for change. That's what life is about. So as you're trying, eventually you're going to knock on that right door, but there's no way you're going to knock on the right door if you keep on only knocking on one. There's multiple doors, and sometimes we think we're led to a certain door, but that ain't it. And thank God for his intervention. Okay, right? And you have to be very, very careful not to just focus on that door that's not opening, because you're missing out on the other door that's just a few houses down, that's just for you. All right, so number one, give God room to do it his way, so that, you can consider that some of the source of your frustration or unhappiness is the fact that you're just simply not letting it go. You're simply not giving it up the way you want it to go. All right. Number two, consider your pride. I know, say what you want, but listen, naturally we have a lot of pride. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to be let down. We don't want to be betrayed. And we absolutely don't want to be disappointed. So sometimes we keep knocking on the same door because we feel like we worked for this. We deserve, this is how I planned it. This is how I saw it. And your pride gets in the way, which actually leads to number three. You have to be able to release control. If you release the pride, you can release control. Put God back in the driver's seat and give yourself that opportunity to breathe, stop, take a beat. I told Daniel that is my theme this season. Take a beat, which means to just simply stop, reevaluate before you get yourself in this place that gets really dark sometimes, and move yourself out of the way. That's how you start to decrease that pride. And I mean the unhealthy pride, where you just feel like your way is it. And if people can't get with it, then they're wrong and you're not. That can really cost you a lot of time and wasted energy and unhealthy vibes, right? And my last point is, once you're able to, one, give God room, two, consider your pride, three, release that control, four, you can dream again. Okay, that is the beauty of holding on loosely to the ideas and the plans that you have for your life. You give yourself the opportunity to dream maybe even bigger. Okay, maybe it didn't happen the way that you wanted it to the first way, because you just simply needed to dream bigger. You needed to dream differently. You needed to change your perspective. Whatever that is, until you're able to move yourself out the way, the dream won't get any bigger if you're just stuck in a certain place and you're upset that it didn't go your way. So I told you I wasn't gonna be before you long. Okay, I gotta go get baby girl. But I hope that encouraged somebody today to, again, give God room to change the things that are going on. If it's not working and if it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, it's gonna be all right. Give yourself the space, yes, to feel the emotions, to get frustrated, to be disappointed, But don't stay there. Give yourself the room to, okay, what's next? It's time for me to see how God wants this to go. I might need to change my path to get to the same outcome, or I may need to consider that it's a different, completely different outcome overall. All right. And that's very hard to do, especially when you believe something, you held on to something. Hey, Instagram family, it's very hard to just let go. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes our pride gets in the way, and we want to make sure that we give God that room. Release the pride so you can release control of it. Again, there's a thin line. You still want to be a confident as you approach the plans and the dreams that you have for your life, but at the same time, you've got to give it space. You've got to give that God that flexibility to be like, love the plan, but I've got something different in mind. But you were thinking the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And then ultimately, you could dream again, and you could dream bigger. And trust me, I'm going to tell you that anytime God intervenes and decides and shows you that he's got a whole different plan for you, you got to know that is always better, and it is always for your best outcome, and it is always bigger, so much bigger than you could have ever initially imagined. Right? Okay, well, that was my live with Sirece today. I hope you guys got something out of it. Thanks for joining me, Instagram family. Thanks for joining me, Facebook family. I know it's early, but I will be posting these snippets, and the full video will be on my YouTube channel. So please make sure to join, make sure to subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful, happy Friday and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. All right, I said bye, but y'all know I don't have the cues behind it. Like, takes me mad long to end a live video, but here we go. All right.